Hello everyone, it's Mr. E299. It's good to see you all again, my mystery men. And in a separate video, I talked about the audience score of Captain Marvel not being released yet, and the critic score not giving an accurate representation of the movie. And in a recent interview on Sci-Fi Wire, a Rotten Tomatoes critic actually confirmed that they do boost the score of the movie, even if they didn't like it, because they want to retain their access and their ability to see movies before they release in order to get reviews and retain their job. But yeah, it seems the audience from the show media are not seeing eye to eye on this one. Um, the audience score has been opened up, as you can see in this photo. 58,514 people have reviewed it, and it's got an audience rating of 34%. That is terrible. I mean, that is just god awful. Yeah, it seems that when it was actually opened up to the public, who aren't inclined to make this movie look good, the fans had a very negative reaction. And I'm going to show you a couple of reviews, a couple of reviews of people who really did not like this movie. And from everything that I've heard about it, I'm not going to plop down my money to see this movie. I don't recommend you do it either. So let's get to some fan reviews. Jeff A says, a terrible, generic, paint-by-the-numbers romp that has little to hold interest. Stand-up performances from Samuel L. Jackson and the Cat. Although some of the Cat CGI wasn't completely convincing, Brie Larson as Carol Danvers never seemed to shift out of first gear and came across as one-note and fairly bland. Had neither the charisma or physicality to pull off the role effectively, or the butt, as we've seen. Plenty of 90s nostalgia thrown in like mud on a cinematic wall to see what sticks, and with the depth of choice of music from the time, the songs chosen were uninspired and obvious. It felt like a Marvel movie in places, but the bad outweighs the good. See it only if you want to get a fix before Endgame, but honestly, if you miss it, you won't be missing much in the greater MCU continuity. A generous 2 stars could easily warrant less in the bottom 5 MCU films to date. Wow. See, Daniel R. Excellent performance from Samuel Jackson and associated cast. Unfortunately, let down by a generic plot and a wooden and expressionless performance from Brie Larson. Over-the-top 90s references seem to be abundant in an attempt to cash in to nostalgia instead of focusing on the unique and developing plot. 1.5 stars. Wow. This one, apparently this one didn't have a name. Gave it 2 stars. The movie is okay but not good. The first half is confusing and the next half picks up fast, which was great. Forgettable characters and action sequences. While Brie tried hard to impress but failed, 2 stars is for Samuel Jackson. Well, it seems like nobody was happy with Brie Larson's performance in this movie. Eric B., 1.5 stars. First, the positive. Love the tribute to Stan Lee and the 90s nostalgia. I heard the tribute to Stan Lee in the beginning and in his cameo were very well done. They did a wonderful job de-aging Fury and Coulson. I'd love to see this used to de-age Ford for the next Indiana Jones film. As for the film itself, it's one of the weakest in the MCU. I was bored for long stretches of the movie. It's a standard paint-by-the-numbers formula superhero film, but it rings hollow at its core. I wasn't really invested in the film's main character. Larson wasn't terrible. She had her moments, but some of the dialogue fell flat and she came off a little wooden in some of the scenes. Fury was largely relegated to comedy relief, which was a shame. The direction was a jumbled mess. It's not a terrible film, just an uninspired one, with little in the way of character development. I think it was a mistake to introduce her in a solo movie first. A better idea would have been to introduce her character into an established ensemble. I've enjoyed most of the films in the MCU, but this one left me flat. I'm clearly not the target audience of this film. I read a lot of comics growing up, but that doesn't mean I love them all. Some were better left on the rack. This film reminds me of that. Wow. So, yeah. I've heard various people talk about the plot of the movie. I understand what the plot of the movie is. And based on that, I am not inspired to see this movie at all. it feels like it would just be a waste of my money, and I think it would be a waste of yours too. So yeah, this is the fan reaction to Captain Marvel. Not great. I don't think it's going to do well at the box office overall. Um, just they could have done so much better with this movie, and I feel like they just went with an agenda of feminism right out of the gate, and they weren't really interested in making a great film by itself. Instead, they included this agenda as the forefront, and the actual quality of the film was secondary at best. Everybody, this is it for this video. Please share if you enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And remember, life's always better with a little mystery.